It is an age-old cliche that why fix something that's not broken? That's the question that arises in mind after watching Pakistan's performance in today's T20i. Pakistan won the toss at Headingley and decided to bowl. The Pakistani team had a really good run in the first match where they scored 232. However, today in the perfect batting conditions, surprisingly they opted to bowl. They did well in terms of keeping England down to 200 when they seemed more likely to score another 30 to 40 runs. And by how Pakistani T20 batsmen are informed, it appeared that this target was at least 20 runs short. But unfortunately, our batsmen gave it away easy. They panicked and they had some really quality spin bowling to handle. The result was Pakistan losing by 45 runs and nobody really playing a substantial innings apart from Shadab Khan. And that was too little too late. I think there's a lot to learn from today's game. From England's perspective, their bowlers learned that this pitch will have spin and they really gave it a rip. Moeen Ali, Adil Rashid and Parkinson, they were all fantastic. And I think the trio might be going to UAE for the World Cup. Thanks for viewing our videos and appreciating them. We really like it when you share them with the cricketing family. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please do so. And please let us know what kind of content you want and we will try our best to bring it to you in the near future. Their quick bowlers were quick to understand that bowling full is not going to help and they were a bit short of a length, which really paid off. Pakistani bowlers did well. However, their propensity to get hit for sixes is getting a little worrying. And considering the fact that Haris Rauf went for 12 runs and over, Hassan went for almost 13 runs and over, these are not acceptable numbers. You can't go for 11, 12, 13 runs and over and say, hey, England's going to hit out, so I'm going to go for that. Yeah, sure, it happens. But not every bowler can afford to do that. Shaheen went for 28 runs in his 4 overs, and I think he didn't do anything out of the world except for bowl well. Overall, the fielding performance was decent. When Pakistan came out to bat, they looked at ease. I thought Babar Azam rushed things with a forced shot. He did look a bit casual about it. And then we had Sohaib Maqsood, who somehow seems to be a player who excels at domestic level but is failing at the international stage. He's in his mid-30s and we could see very clearly that he had really heavy hands. Even if he was hitting it down the ground for a single, he was hitting it like he's going to hit a 6 on that ball. So either he needs to calm his nerves down and soften his hands a bit. I think it's going to be a problem for the Pakistani team. Another problem that I see is FAKHAR Zaman was a pretty good number 3 and he's been forced to bat at number 5. Now, an early loss of wicket, FAKHAR Zaman is an opener, he comes in, he's fine with that. But you're pushing an opener into a middle order batsman in T20 format. I just don't buy the idea. I mean, he's a good batsman, but he's no Michael Hussey. I think this is something that the management has to look into. England's batting was pretty fantastic in terms that they decided that, well, even if we get out, we're not going to stop hitting. If you look at, apart from their wicketkeeper, Joss Butler, who's also captaining the team today, nobody went past 50. Moeen Ali played a decent knock. Moeen Ali also bowled really well. Now, a word for the Pakistani team here. UAE pitches are going to be slow and low. Pakistan knows better about them than anyone else. They're also going to be tired. The reason is that IPL will be played on these pitches a few weeks before the World Cup. So expect that the spin will come into play. That means Pakistan needs quality spinners in the team, and Imad Wasim, who bowled well today, and Shadab Khan, who was decent, they're not going to be enough. You need at least one more spinner who can really let it rip. It could be Mohammad Nawaz, it could be one of the new spinners that we have seen in PSL, it could be somebody from the first class circuit. The second thing, and the more important thing here, is Pakistani batsmen need to adapt, play on spinning tracks more. On today's evidence, it wasn't very encouraging. Mohammad Hafiz kept on mishitting. There were a number of mishits by FAKHAR Zaman, who generally bludgeons the spinners, and Azam Khan, well, it was his second T20. You really can't blame him. Played a really airy-fairy shot, but again, it's early days. A couple of good shots today from Sohaib Makhsood against the spinners, but they weren't enough, and he basically scummed very easily. I hope Pakistani team recovers from this and they play their best in the next game. But I think the management really needs to think about poor decisions like bowling first on a perfect batting track. And you do expect it to spin later on, so why take a tough task? Pakistan right now does not need to go for glory and play the perfect games. Right now they need wins under their belt, and defeating England in England will give them a lot of confidence. They have already lost a one-day series, and that was not fun. That was not fun for the fans. That was not fun for the team. So let's win some matches. We still have quite a few T20 internationals and other matches to go before the World Cup. So we will see you after the third game, and hopefully Pakistan will come out as the victors. Until then.